Hey everyone, welcome back to our second episode of G&A Podcast. I'm your host, Sober Oni, here with...
Drooby doo, what's poppin', yo?
And now, since we've done our winter preview, it's been about 3 weeks or so since the season started, and we've got at least the first quarter of these shows watched, and now we're going to give our impressions of them. So I think I'm going to start off with, why don't we just do this going straight across, like when we started it. I feel like it's easier.
By all means.
Okay, then that means first off, no one watched Aka, so that's that. We're going to start off with Akiba's Trip. And I'm pleasantly surprised with it, honestly. Like, it's one of my favorites this season.
Yeah, I can't complain. It's really good. Arisa's my favorite character. Arisa's everyone's favorite character.
Yes.
She's just so amusing, and I feel bad. I feel like the main girl, Mayo, I feel like she's just there for the plot. Like, she's literally just there for the plot. And I'm like, okay, plot's done. Now let's go back to entertaining stuff. Arisa, you're on.
So I think you're actually an episode ahead of me because I've only seen the first 2 episodes.
No, I also only saw the first 2.
Oh, okay, so then we're on the same. We didn't see episode 3 yet, but from the first 2 episodes, the plot. I guess we went over it a bit in the winter preview, but for a refresher, the plot is basically main character goes around Akihabara, fighting these aliens that infect random citizens, and the only way to uninfect them is to strip them of their clothes. And that's pretty much it. It's as wonky and crazy and over the top as its premise seems. There's a lot of fan service, but it's not too in your face, right?
No, yeah, it's very like, it gets lost with all like the action and the humor. Actually, it's not very like like in your face. And it's funny, like, quick tangent, but like Fuka is kind of actually the same. Like, it calls itself like ecchi, and it's like, as you watch it, you actually have to like look to find these ecchi moments. But yeah,
it's
the
like,
same.
I feel like the fan service just kind of plays into the jokes, which if it's like your fan service for the sake of a joke or fan service for the sake of, like, it plays into the actual plot of the show, ironically enough. So it's tastefully done. It's fun. It's comedic. So it doesn't rub you the wrong way.
Yeah, I fucks with it. Also, fun fact, each ending, well, so far that I've seen, it has a different ending music.
Yes. So we haven't seen episode 3, but the first 2 episodes did have different ending themes. I'm assuming they're going to keep that for the rest of the season, which, if they do, is A, going to be incredible, and B, means that they have a legit budget, because producing endings is not cheap. So, and the animation is actually really good for like some of the fight scenes. It's like legit really good.
It reminds me of what's that anime? Loveless? No, not Loveless. Wow, Loveless. No, not Loveless.
The ghost of Loveless comes back again to haunt us.
Oh god, how the fuck did I just trigger myself? I meant say Needless.
Yes.
Yes.
Far superior to Loveless.
I agree.
Yeah, it does have that kind of needless. It also kind of has some of the same comedy as Needless, where it's like over the top and crazy and random shit just happening.
I wonder if they're like made by the same people.
Nope.
All right.
Needless house.
All right. So much for that.
So much for that theory.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's I categorize it as a Saturday morning cartoon type of show where you just wake up Saturday morning and you just want to have a cup of coffee or breakfast or something, and you just want to chill and relax and watch something funny and fun and have a nice start to your day. Watch this.
Yes, I approve so far.
Yeah, the comedy isn't as strong as some of the other shows, but it makes up for it with its unique type of action and stuff. So
yeah,
I'm gonna continue watching it.
Same. Moving on, we're going to talk about Chaos Child.
Oh yeah, you saw Chaos Child. I haven't.
I may drop it.
Oh, what a surprise!
I know I say it now. I know. Like the next few episodes is gonna get good, and it's not that even that's bad. Oh gosh, it's like I don't even know how to like describe all of this because like it's just like it's so much.
Sounds
That's
like
my
Chaos
thing.
Head. Why nobody liked Chaos Head, because it's just so like a lot of stuff happening. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm assuming there's a lot of stuff happening at once, and it's really difficult to follow along with.
Did you not see the first episode?
No, because it's an hour.
Oh shit! Oh shit! I was kind of hoping you would help me along with that one. All right, so I'll do the best I can. I'll do the best I can. So, oh, I forgot the year it starts, but there's this
November 6, 2009.
Oh, well, we'll say 2009 because there's stuff that happens before that. Starts out with the main character. I forget his full name. I know his nickname is like Taku. He's basically, as I refer to him in my notes, otaku trash. That's literally like he can't be bothered with anyone. All he wants to do is just stay in, like watch his anime, like whatever, kind of asshole, you know, online all the time. But then like these killings in Shibuya, they start to occur, and he's like noticing it's happening, and someone starts like kind of hinting at him about the deaths, and then he's like, what's going on? What's going on? Because like freaky shit starts happening around him. To the point where he can't really tell like reality from like fiction, and then a huge like confrontation happens between him and like a bunch of people, and like a riot breaks out, and then the whole incident begins where like the you know what they refer to in the whole about the whole fire and the earthquake.
Yeah.
That's when like everything comes to a head and that shit happens. So then skip to a few years. One of the people that was involved in that accident, Takuru, he's involved with the newspaper club with him and his friends, and basically the killings kind of start happening in almost the same fashion. So that's generally what like happens in episode 1. Actually, it's funny. They predict where the next murder is going to take place. They go there, and to like the exact, like they sneak by the cop and everything, go to the room, and they do some, and pardon my French, but like some stupid white people shit that happens in horror movies. Like, you know how white people they just can't help themselves. Like, for the sake of the plot, let's just go and, you know, fuck with the forces that be. Like literally, they're like, oh, the door is locked to where this crime scene is taking place, and then the door just unlocks itself. Instead of calling for the cops or anything, they go in trying to get some footage of it, and they see something that they really shouldn't have seen as teenagers, and yeah, and thank God they're not dead somehow. So yeah, a lot of shit happens episode 1, considering it's an hour, and then episode 2, they just talk about like the sumo stickers. It's literally an episode about sumo stickers. Like, it took me all 2 days to trudge through that episode because they were literally just going on about these stupid sumo stickers. It just happened to be around the murder scenes, And I'm just like, all right, I'm done talking about these stickers. So I'm like on the verge of dropping it. I might watch one more, but no
I'm
promises.
actually gonna leave this to you because I
You
want to
son
watch
of a
it.
bitch.
I want to watch it, but there's like so many other stuff I'm watching right now, and it's like, oh, do I really want to watch Chaos Child? And I know it's just gonna be a clusterfuck of like random because it's a visual novel. It's based off a visual novel. It's a really long visual novel if I know the production team behind it right. So it's gonna be like, oh, let's cram this like 80-hour novel into a 10-episode anime or 12-episode anime or something. And it's gonna be like one of those things. So I don't know. Maybe I'll watch the first episode and then from there see. But all likelihood, I'm leaving it to you. I'm leaving it to you.
Oh my god! I know it's gonna be like, what was it's gonna. Would it be too much to say it's gonna be like Steins Gate?
Well, Steins Gate worked because it like had a lot of, was it 24 episodes? I think it was 24 episodes. And then yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 24 episodes. And the core concept was very simple. It was like, oh, time travel. That's it.
Yeah.
Time travel. And then only had like X amount, only like a few handful of characters. Chaos Head and Chaos Child and Robotics Notes had like a million different concepts that never went anywhere and subplots that never got any kind of resolution and a bunch of random bullshit happening. And yeah.
Gotcha.
They're all over the place.
Gotcha. All right.
So next is Demi-chan, which we
oh my god! I'm sorry. I just have so many things to say about this, but go ahead.
Yes. So again, I love Demi-chan. The plot is really simple. It's just a teacher who's also working on his college thesis paper, who happens to live in a world where there are these kind of demi-humans who are humans, but they have some genetic traits of like monsters from mythical folklore and stuff. And he starts teaching some of them. There's a snow woman, a vampire, a Dullahan, and a succubus. And the whole show is just him interacting with the girls and learning about them and what makes them unique and just their interaction. So it's very slice of lifey and sort of romance, but it's more of a comedy. It's more like a romantic comedy / slice of life, and it is so good.
It is. It's so really good. I know everyone's favorite character is Hikari the vampire.
You know, there's a lot of debate because apparently, well, of course, Hikari is my favorite character, but the succubus and the Dullahan also have their fair share of supporters.
Yes, I love the succubus. That's definitely mine. She was so cute this last episode. I couldn't. I was like, her talk with the Dullahan Machi. Yeah, it was everything. I loved it. She was like, I was like, you get 1,000 points.
Oh yeah, she's like, well, why am I competing with a student?
Also, is anyone gonna point out the obvious fact that like I don't know that it's not going to work out between Machi and him? Because she says, hey, the difference between you and me, she says it's a Dullahan, it's the same between me and the teacher. So like she's like 6 years, like 10 years younger than like the main character, the main dude, Takahashi. So it's like I'm like, like he's not into you.
So Takahashi is cool. Like I like him as a main character and all. My one hang up is he's creepily close to
Thank you. Can you not? Students. I literally wrote everywhere on my notes. Inappropriate.
Oh my god, it's so inappropriate. Like Hikari just comes up and sits on his lap while he's on the laptop. She kisses him.
Kisses him. What? She goes on a date with one of his students.
Oh my god, Machi's like, hug my head. And he's like, oh yeah, let me hug your head. That's not creepy or inappropriate for my students. Yeah, no, he's very touchy Well, I don't know. He's not very touchy. The girls are very touchy towards him.
But he just allows it. And
he's like, that's fine. It's cool. Yeah. Which I can't blame him for, but shit, like.
Yes, you can. Yeah, like, you give a teacher not to like
losing his job,
not to like grope like some teenage girls. Jesus, oh my god, like,
Also, the non-casual like talk with like the super casual rather talk.
Oh yeah,
like, so tell me about your sex life. Is that like does sucking blood turn you on? Or, like...
Yeah, let's just talk about sex. Like that's totally like appropriate outside of the class.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he forgets that A, they're like what 15, 16.
Yeah.
And B, that he's their teacher.
I mean, Sato, the succubus, she's slightly not better, only because like that whole talk with the Dullahan, also incredibly inappropriate.
Oh yeah, there's like no boundaries between these people. They're just talking about sex and random. What was that one scene in the second episode when Machi and Hikari are talking and she was like, "Oh, I'm a Dullahan and we're not romantic enough. I mean, like we have bad luck in romance." And then Hikari's like, "Oh no, but you can remove your head, so that opens possibilities to a lot of perverted things you can do." Like headless blowjobs.
I know, right? She was pretty much all about alluding to that, and I'm just like, Jesus. All right, this show actually has like incredibly mature undertones. Like incredibly
it does, but it's like you have to like actually be observant because it's not in your face type of like. It's one of those things where you think about it like, why are they so close? Like, why is she sitting on his lap? Why are they making these references about headless blowjobs and stuff?
Yeah, it's great. Just watch it.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's so much fun watching it.
All right, let's do the next one.
This is you. I haven't watched it either.
Oh God, Fuka. So remember when I was like, "Oh, just watch Nana instead."
Yeah.
So like, you could watch Nana, or you could watch this because this is actually just another version of Nana. It's actually the other. Yeah, it's just another version of Nana. It's a very like boy meets girl story with music involved. The main girl Fuka, I've heard they didn't like her because she's being really like a dickhead to the main character, Haruna Yu, and
what a pretentious name.
Why?
I don't know. It just sounds pretentious. Haruna Yu. I don't know.
I mean,
the wrong way.
All right. Well, I guess you can hate him because of the name, but yeah, he seems.
Fuck that
guy. He seems perfectly fine, and then like she crashes into him, and they wind up in like that ecchi position, like, oh, you could see me in that weird way, and then she punches him in the face, and breaks his phone. Yeah, I forget how they met. Just so much shit has happened between when they met and now. But yeah, they meet through that, and then they eventually find out that they go to the same school, of course, and then they start hanging out with each other, getting to know each other, and then they make friends with Mikasa, the gay blonde, who is just a cool guy in general. There's a lot of gayness this season. Just a lot of gayness in general. Like a lot of slight gayness. Like more so than normal. And I'm completely fine with that. But yeah, it was just
the gay best friend is becoming like a trope now.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I guess it's time they caught up with America. I guess they're now stuck in like America like last decade. But yeah, it was really funny. Like when you like the way they introduced Mikasa, because Mikasa's like hanging around a bunch of girls. They're like, wow, he's so popular and good looking. He hangs out with girls, and then Mikasa's just like, oh yeah, well, I don't like girls, so that's why they're all around me. And he's like, what? And I was like, what? So yeah, they're getting anime in general is just getting really comfortable with that. Also, just like in Nana, there's a famous singer who happens to know the main character. And yes, and just like in Nana, they had some kind of history. Well, in this case, it's not like a romantic history because they're younger. And Nana, they're like much older, so of course they can't. They can't be expected to have like a romantic past, like they're only teenagers. But yeah, for some reason, famous girl, what's her name, Koyuki? Yeah, she's like in love with you, as in I'm just gonna call him Haruna. Yeah, it's gonna get confusing.
She loves me.
But yeah, like, so fast forward, they go on to a beach. They have to have a little beach arc, and they're working at some place part time. And of course, Koyuki decides to come around because she's like filming something, and they meet up, and they're like having their little like private moment, and like of course, all romantic. Like her umbrella gets whipped up by the wind because it's raining. She falls into him in like a wonderful embrace, and of course, like Fuko just like happens to walk in on them like in that moment, and then Fuko's like, I liked you. And at the same time, wait, you know Koyuki? Because Fuka also worships Koyuki. Like, she loves her music. Which is, once again, another, like, similarity between that and Nana. Like, oh, wow, this character, even though she doesn't have a connection, she happens to know this, like, the famous person and idolizes them. So, yeah, lots of similarities between the two anime. Fuka gets mad and she just kind of walks away, and then like all episode 4, like they're just like fighting each other, trying to like make up, but like Haruna, it is very drama. I love it. I fucking love it. Haruna trying to like apologize. He's like, oh, I didn't tell you that I knew Koyuki because you're gonna be all like, I want to respect her privacy. I didn't want anyone like trying to creep on her. And then she's like, are you calling me a creep? So he just makes it worse. And then they just argue, and then they eventually make up. And then basically this famous band that disbanded a long time ago appears out of nowhere. And they're like, hey, let's just do a practice jam session. Then it's discovered that Fuka can actually sing. And then they're like, yeah, let's form a band. So yeah, that's essentially what's happening. If you like drama, if you like Nana, like literally watch the show. I
just realized it was called Fuka, and one of the girls' names is Fuka. So I'm assuming she's going to be the one who wins at the end. Otherwise, it's a very ironic naming sense for the show.
Well, let's put it this way. In the show Nana, the main character's name is Nana. And to a certain extent, I don't think either of them won by the end of the anime. I don't think either of them won. It gets pretty sad at the end. But yeah. Next.
All right. So you didn't watch this yet. Gabriel Dropout?
I think I saw the first episode, maybe the second one. How many episodes are out now?
2.
Okay. Well, I definitely saw at least one of them. Continue.
Okay, so the story's pretty much, it's pure comedy, and it's about an angel who named Gabriel, obviously after Angel Gabriel, who basically graduates from whatever heaven school or heaven academy in heaven, comes down to Earth with the mission to kind of observe humans and help them out any way she can. And of course, within like the first week of coming to Earth, she gets completely corrupted by by gaming and basically all the entertainment and corrupting culture of Earth. So she goes from becoming this innocent, sweet, like angel, literally, to this kind of like cynical, jaded, kind of an assholey character who's just looking out for herself and very self-centered and doesn't. She literally goes from saying like I would do anything to help anybody to fuck people. I just want to stay home all day, fucking eat ramen and play games and not go anywhere or do anything ever. And then like she becomes completely heartless. There's also her friend who is Vine, who is a demon based off of some other demon. All the angels and demons in the show basically have their perceptive personalities like reversed. Like Gabriel, an angel, is very cynical and the opposite of what an angel should be. Vine.
Oh my god! Wait, what was the other one?
Satania or Raphael?
Raphael. Oh my god!
Raphael
yeah,
is a major bitch, and like
she's borderline. She's borderline sadist.
I knew
she's a borderline sadist.
So, like that character was made for you. So like, the story's just her going to school with Gabriel going to school with her friends Raphael, who's another angel, Vine, and Satania, who are demons. But Vine is like pretty much what Gabriel should be. She's a demon, but she's all about kindness and helping everybody, and she's super self-conscious about the fact that she's a demon, but she doesn't do anything demonic at all, and she's the complete opposite of that. And then Satania, who's my favorite character, and I think everyone's favorite character, is supposedly, obviously based off of Satan, but she's supposed to be like the future queen of hell, and she's on Earth, like, I'm going to do the most evil, like, when she's first introduced, like, I'm going to do the most evil thing imaginable. And she just throws a plastic bottle in a recycling bin. She's like, ha, I recycled without removing the cap. So I broke recycling laws. And then Gabriel just shows up and like, oh, this drinking a can of juice. He's like, oh, this juice tastes like shit. And she just throws it on the floor and like spills everywhere.
And then somehow Satania is the one cleaning it up.
Yeah, Gabriel manipulates Satania to cleaning it up for her. And then she does the other thing where she doesn't do her homework and it's like, teacher, I didn't do my homework. Isn't that evil? And then she just gets sent outside crying in the hallway. The whole show is basically, a lot of the jokes revolve around bullying Satania.
And it's so great.
Especially Raphael, because she's a major bitch. And did you see the second episode where she trains the dog to steal?
Isn't that when she like tries to like live in her like?
Yeah, when she tries to like
live in her room.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I did see the second one. Yes. Oh gosh. She's so
her whole
funny.
character is basically, how can I manipulate and just bother the hell out of Satania and bully the shit out of her to make her like completely like miserable.
Usually, I hate those kind of characters.
No, you don't.
What? I totally hate
those kind of characters.
I hate those kind of characters usually, like when they go too far. But like, she just does it in such like a funny way, and she's just such a sadist on top of it. Like,
yeah, she never strays. She's not like she's not like Gabriel's like kind of a bitchy personality, but Raphael's this kind of really manipulative personality where she's always smiling and nice and really sweet demeanor, but then she's always plotting these evil things and manipulating everyone around her.
Yeah, like that kind of craziness, like I respect it. Like she's like, oh, she could be the tsundere type, but nah, she's just a full-out sadist.
Yeah, she's
and I respect that.
Insane sadist. So yeah, if you love comedy, I think that this and Maid Dragon and Konosuba are gonna be my top 3 comedies for this season.
Absolutely.
So yeah, you love comedy, check it out. It's a really interesting premise. That said, going from something really, really, really good
Oh boy, here we
to
go.
something really, 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 really. Let me just make this red. A really, 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 really shitty. We are going to handshakers now. So I'm gonna explain. My notes are like my notes for all the other shows are just like one sentence, like mention this, like that. For handshakers, it's like a whole page of
Strap
just.
yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't want to go into a tangent because it's not even worth it. It's not even worth. It's just failing on so many. Oh, fuck, I'm gonna go into it. So the show. Let me pull up my notes so I can make sure to cover every excruciating point of this garbage. So the plot of the show is basically there are these. From what I can follow, because the plot is completely nonsensical and makes fucking no relevance to anything else, but the main character, basically has this past where he lost his sister, and there's the only good moment of the show, the only good moment of the episode is his flashback when his sister died, and then his sister's in this hospital bed, and she's dying a slow death, and she's holding his hand, and she's like, "Don't let go." You know, it's kind of sad. If they built up the characters more, it'd be sadder, but it's kind of sad. And then flash forward to his modern life, his living in Japan as a student, whatever. He runs into this. He goes back to the hospital for whatever reason, finds a girl in the hospital bed who looks exactly like his sister, grabs her hand, and finds out that there's this whole thing with special creatures called Nimrods, which is Mark 1 of how stupid it's going to be. And they have these special powers, and they have to fight each other for some dumb shit called the Babel Promise, the Tower of Babel, some nonsensical thing. And the catch is, if you let go of the hand of your Nimrod, they basically weaken and die, which is kind of a cool concept if it wasn't such a shitty show. My main problem with the show, on top of how stupid the concept is, or how stupid the storytelling is that the animation is the worst animation I've ever seen. Like, people are going to look at it and be like, either this is the greatest thing ever, and those people are called hipsters, and everyone else is going to be like, this is stupid. It's fucking looks retarded. Because what it is it's CG in a lot of places and hand-drawn in some other places, but there's always like this glossy sheen to anything that's in the frame, and there's like this weird fisheye camera perspective on a lot of shots. So there'll be like a shot of like a bathroom, let's say, or like, no, the hospital. Hospitals are perfect. There'll be a shot of the hospital room, and then it'll be a still shot where there's nothing happening, but then there'll be like a chain, like a silver chain in the corner of the screen that's moving, and it's the only thing on the screen that's moving. It's a still shot. It looks like a 3D, like PS4 kind of chain in an anime. It looks completely out of place. It's like shiny and stuff, so it's all you can see, even though nothing else is moving. And then people will be talking, and there's just like random shiny objects in the frame and stuff, and it's just distracting and stupid. So the animation is god awful. It's horrible. I almost got sick watching it, and I don't even suffer from motion sickness. The other big issue I had is, of course, the main character fights other Nimrods, which on retrospect is a great name now that I think about how shitty the show is. He fights other Nimrods, and they use the first guy he fights is basically this. I guess he's a sadist, and his Nimrod's a masochist, because it's basically the girl's his Nimrod is like big busty girl, and she's all tied up in chains, and he basically literally just like throws her to the floor and kicks her and body slams her and beats the shit out of her, and that somehow makes her stronger. It's really stupid. Normally I don't mind that kind of stuff, but it's like stupidity on top of a mountain of stupidity that just like broke the camel's back.
Maybe in like if it was used in a comedy, that'd be like hilarious.
Yeah, if it was in a comedy, it'd be funny at least. But like, no, they're dead serious. And I'm like, okay, I can't take this sexual abuse serious. Like in this episode, in this context, like, oh yeah, abusing her gives her more power and shit. Like, why? There's no context for it. It's just there to be there. It's like borderline offensive at some points. But I think the best part actually was there's the whole final scene, the whole final fight is like 6 minutes long, and throughout the whole fight, the credits are rolling for 6 minutes. So you'll see them fighting, and you'll just see the credits rolling. And I'm like, you could put the credits like at the end of the episode or like in the last part, like the last couple of minutes of the fight. No, the whole fight is just them fighting behind credits for 6 minutes. So I'm like, why? Everything is so bad. The directing is bad. The writing is bad. The animation is bad. It's all bad. And the worst part about it is I saw that Gohan's made it, and I'm like, I never heard of them before. So I'm like, maybe Gohan's a new studio, and this is their first thing, and at least that'd be excusable. Nope. They made K, which is really good. I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's really good. And they made Sedokai, which is one of my favorite comedy. Yeah, they made Sedokai.
Oh, no.
So they know how to do comedy. They know how to do sexual comedies. And they know how to do good action shows. But they made this. So I don't know what kind of internal implosion they had or like what kind of bet they lost or something, but it's garbage. I refuse to watch it. Never again. Never again.
I think they rolled the credits while the action was fighting because they're like, well, we're not gonna last long, so rather just get all these credits.
Responsible for this.
Rather just get all these credits out of the way because we probably won't make it to episode 12 at this rate.
No, oh my god! I hope it gets canceled. But no, I'm sorry. I have a really high tolerance for bad shows, but no, I don't have that high of a tolerance. So, moving on from that abomination, I also saw Idol Jihen, which actually was good. I expected it to be stupid, but it's kind of stupid in a good way.
Oh god.
So the plot of it is basically the Japanese diet, like their their whole political process or whatever, their parties are their politicians rather they're losing their seats, their diet seats to idols. It's like this new phenomenon. So idols are becoming politicians, and they're taking these political seats, and they're starting to rule parties and stuff, and they form their own diet parties or whatever. And the main character is basically recruited to go up in an election against a politician and she wins, of course, but I just find it hilarious. And the whole show just revolves around them trying to be idols while also being politicians. It's stupid, but it's good because the whole concept of it is it's supposed to be surreal. Like, oh, ha, 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 these are idols, but they're also politicians. That could never happen. Ha, 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 ha. But it happens to air in a month where a literal reality star just became president of the United States. So am I finding the idea that idols can be elected into leadership positions in Japan's diet like hilarious? No, I find that really plausible. As a matter of fact, I feel like that's going to happen now. It's like a surreal look at the future of Japan. Because even the show goes out of its way to kind of mock that scenario where it's like, oh, Japan's in economic crisis and there's economic inequality like never before. But these idols will rise to the challenge and protect us, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, that's probably going to happen. That's legit probably going to happen.
So what you're saying is, well, first of all, like one of the greatest, like that's literally just such a great satire. Like
it is. It's like the best satire ever.
It's so great. I wish I could like enjoy it more, but it's just like it hits a little too close to home for me. it's like sad laughing. It's like ha, 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 ha. But yeah, that aside, I feel like we should have seen this coming because, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger was a movie star, not even born in the USA, and he was governor of California. So I feel like we should have seen that coming. And Beyonce for president.
Beyonce 2020.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
There is like, other than that satire, the other show's not that funny. There are a couple of times where there's like a few really good jokes they just randomly scattered throughout the episodes. Like one in the first episode when the main character is up against the politician, and they are like randomly. She's like in the middle of the street, kind of handing out flyers, like "Vote for me, vote for me." And the politician comes up, and he's in his car with a megaphone, and he's like, "Yes, vote for me. I am." He's like young or something, so I guess like he says some line where it's like, "Vote for me and make me a man" or something. And then she's panicking because all her followers are going to him, so she just screams out, "No, make a woman out of me." And then all the like perverted guys, the creepy old guys, just turn around and surround her. And then she's like, "Oh no, not like that though." And then there was another moment in the second episode where, for some reason, they're having this match with these other idols for like a bet, and they're doing bungee jumping, and they have to jump basically from like the top of this mountain. And the group that she's facing, so their representative kind of looks down and she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna do this and be the first idol to ever do this and become super famous." And she has like this flashback of her whole career and everything, and like, my whole career has led up to this moment. And then she looks down and she literally just faints and falls over. And then the other girl, the main girl, is like, "All right, my turn. Now I can do this and win." And then she actually does jump, but then the cord breaks. And then like, that's like the last thing you expect to happen. The cord just snaps, and they're all nonchalantly looking, and they're like, "What happened?" And then one of the other girl's friends is like, "I think the cord snapped." And then that's not the end of it. And I'm like, "Oh, so she's dead." Cool.
Yeah.
And
like, wait,
it's like,
what?
then it fast forwards, and she's like in bandages and stuff, and like, "Oh, good thing there was a river below you," and so, and like, no, because she jumped from that high up. Even if there was a river below her, she would have broken everything.
The impact from the water probably would have just killed
water
her.
is not like made of marshmallows. It hurts considerably to drop into water from any height.
Jeez.
But yeah, it's not an idol show, so if you like idols, don't think it's like Idolmaster or Love Live, but it's a so-so comedy. I'm probably going to continue watching it as a guilty pleasure type of show.
All right. Next up is... Wait, are we doing...
Oh, I saw Kimono Friends. It's garbage. Don't watch it. Next. I mean, it's literally a kid's show. It's literally like just a kid's show. I don't know why I didn't see that when I was looking for it.
Well, then. All right. We're going straight to Kobayashi-san Chino Maid Dragon. I could have sworn I made more notes on this. I guess I didn't. Oh, well, fuck it. So, basically, Kobayashi, Kobayashi, she's just, I don't know. I really like her. I really like her as a character. She's just a real as fuck person who just goes through the struggle of like being an office worker. Like, it's basically she gets really fucking wasted one night, and in drunken stupor pulls out a sword out of a dragon, and allows the dragon, says to the dragon girl, "Hey, you can stay with me if you want." And she's like, "Cool." And then she wakes up and has no recollection of what's happening. So yeah. And then she just has to, I don't know, adapt to living with a dragon chick. And it's so funny. It's really just so fucking funny. Like, like literally, and I like that everyone's so funny. Like, it's not just like, oh, here's the funny characters and then here like the soundboards off of the funny characters. For example, in the first episode, when they go out to the bar like after work, like out of nowhere, Kobayashi and Makoto, just like her friend Makoto, just turn out to be like super crazy otakus and just start talking about shit. Meanwhile, like the dragon chick Toru, she's just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny. And then the second one, like episode, I forgot. Do you know the episode of the what's the episode? Do you know the name of the other girl, the new dragon that shows up in episode 2?
I think it's Kana.
Yeah, I think it's Kana. She's super cute, really funny.
That animation in the second episode when they were fighting us,
really good actually.
Yeah, it was really, really good. It's like their whole budget went into that one scene.
Literally
fighting with each other.
we're just roughhousing. It's whatever. Oh my god! And I love on the beginning when they like find her and she's like, "Stop trying to like take Toru away from me," and then she's all cute. I'm like, "Aw." Yeah, I'm usually
just, like, name calls her like slut.
Yeah, right. Perverted slut. Right. Usually, I don't really have much patience for those kind of cute characters, but I don't know. She won me over.
Yeah, she has because she kind of feels like a genuine kid, like a genuine kid would feel, like curious and cute and stuff.
Yeah, I like her. I like her a lot. Oh, also, side note from the first episode, when fucking Toru like cuts her tail off and then eats her tail and then goes back, like I almost fucking threw up. I almost threw up. That was
recurring joke of her trying to get Kobayashi to eat her tail.
Oh my god. When I first saw her do that and then just grew back, I literally almost puked. I'm like, oh my god, that is
honestly though, I would eat her tail. It looks kind of good. But then again, I love eating exotic animals, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, is this fact that came from like a humanoid type of character.
So if she transformed into a dragon and cut off her tail, would you eat it?
That's actually not the reason why. It's because of the color when it's cooked. It just looks
like it's
fucking
like
weird.
And orange.
Like it looks like it's like, yeah, it doesn't look like something. I'm sorry. I like my meat like looking like cooked and charred and brown.
No, yeah, it's like green and orange shaded.
Nope.
Well, at least you'll never go hungry.
Yeah, right. Yeah. This anime is really funny. Go watch it. Like, one of the many comedies that are just really good this season. All right, moving on.
Yes. So Konosuba. I hear you like shifting to like a bunch of pages. So started off. I heard all right, for those of you who aren't familiar, it's the second season of Konosuba, and it's basically about a guy who gets who dies in a hilarious manner. I won't spoil it, just watch the first season if you haven't watched it already. He dies in a hilarious manner, meets a goddess, and she says he can be reincarnated into another world, but he's allowed to bring one thing with him. And because she's such a bitch to him, he chooses to bring her, and she comes along. She has to come along, and basically becomes powerless and travels with him in this fantasy world where they kind of have to stop the Demon King and all of that. But it's not really a fantasy adventure because it's hyper realistic in that they're like, oh, we're in this fantasy world. Oh shit, we need jobs. Oh shit, we need clothes. Oh shit, we need a place to live. Like it's not like a game. Like they actually need to work like construction and do all this stuff that is completely mundane, and it works as like a really good comedy.
Wow. Okay. So now that you recap the entire first season,
yes. The second season picks up right from where the first season left off. But yeah, the first episode, actually, I had low expectations for because I had read that, it wasn't that good and yada yada yada. But like, it was really good. Like, I really liked the first episode. I think it was like perfect in terms of. It was kind of a recap, but not really.
Yeah.
because
It was
he
like,
basically
yeah, there's lots of recapping, it, but not in a way that's like very like monotonous or mundane. Like, it's like here's like flashbacks of what's happening, and then new shit. Like, and then they continue.
he basically gets put on trial for the crimes he committed throughout the first season, like the
You mean the
inadvertent
crime?
crimes.
You mean the crimes that everyone but him committed?
Yeah, everyone but him committed, like his associates committed, and then he's basically grilled by the prosecutor and stuff, and he has to go back, and you get different perspectives on like the side characters and how they perceived his actions and stuff in the first season, and that interrogation scene was fucking great. Where he flips the table on the interrogator and then he pushes her too far.
Yeah, and then she's just like, no, I don't have a
No.
boyfriend. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, also during the trial they do it like in a whole ace right attorney at law thing.
Yes.
It's really funny, and Megumin is pretending to be like Naruhodo, and then they completely just like break through that, like they just like break through her like that whole persona, and she's like, oh, I got nothing. Also, like in my notes for the first episode, I literally just wrote down darkness and put 3 check marks because
Yes.
darkness is my favorite character, and
Darkness broke out the I'm a noble trump card and like got some leverage.
yeah, and saved him from pretty much death.
The second episode I actually liked more than the first episode because they reused the frog joke, but in their defense, I liked the way that they reused it because it was more over the top than it was in the first season.
I know. I feel like it just didn't have such an impact on me because now I'm just like setting up like unreasonable heights in my head for like my standards are just like super high. It was actually funny. Like once I actually like reflected upon it, I was just like, because we talked about this yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was just like, no, he's actually right. Like the co-ed bath scene was actually really funny.
There's a lot of Megumin in this episode.
This is the one part where like Aqua and like the interrogator chick just kept trying to escape, and she's just like and then like they're kind of trying to make it like it's like a whole ecchi scene for her. They just keep on going back and forth. It was just really ridiculous. And then the flashbacks at the end when they use that crystal.
Oh my! I felt so bad for
Yun.
She's like celebrating birthday by herself.
His whole feast and no one else is there.
Horrible for me. She was like, had this big cake and everything. It's like, happy birthday. And then they zoom out and it's like empty.
No one's there.
I'm like, oh, that hurts.
And then when she's like out in the field and she like, looks at the flower and the flower's like actually a monster and it like just walks up and runs away. Oh, why is she so alone?
I know. Oh, I feel so bad for her now.
Oh god, but yeah.
No, it started out good for me. For now, if I were to rate the comedies, I'd still rank this above even Maid Dragon and Gabriel Dropout. So it's still my number 1 comedy.
For me, it's like top 3. It's definitely not number 1, but as of now, it's not number 1.
We'll see how the season progresses. From what I've heard on the novel, whatever that's based off of, there is going to be a lot of darkness in it. So maybe you'll rate it higher.
Yeah, right? I'm like, oh, no, it's full on dark. I know. I think that's why I don't like this as much. Like, if they had more dark, literally, if they just had more darkness in it, because like she was gone like the entire episode.
Yeah, she was. I feel like she's going to be a major character in it, though.
Yeah, once she just comes back and just starts making all those great fucking jokes, like I'm just like, oh, no, this is number 1 again.